I got into comedy. It's actually a funny story. I was in college. I didn't know where I wanted to be, what my passion was. I just knew I was just supposed to graduate or whatever, but I didn't really know what I really wanted to do. So here comes, my 5th year in college. And that's about the time where financial aid tells you, yo, nah. So financial aid cuts you off. You having too many house parties because you don't know what you want to do in college. You get evicted. Well, you get kicked out of your apartment because they like, yo, we getting too many noise complaints. Apartment said, yo, you got to get the boot. And I remember I told one of my frat brothers, I told Battle, I was like, yo, one day I'm gonna do stand up comedy. I ain't know nothing about it. I just said it, right? So the summer rolls around. I got like 2 jobs and everything, and I'm like, I call up one of my frat brothers who had been doing comedy for about like 2 years now. He was in LA. He popped up in a few things and stuff like that. So I'm close to him. So I gave him a call. Say, hey, yo, Chris, I want to do, I'm thinking about doing comedy. Like, when I say this dude acted like I was entering in the frat again, like, meet me at my house at 9/11. At a certain time, I was like, what? So he was like, get to my house. And he stayed down the street. So I went to his house, like, as soon as I could. I was like, yo, what's going on? He said, that's what you're wearing? I was like, what you talking about? I'm in a t-shirt and everything. He gives me, like, a button down or something like that. And he says, come with me. Still ain't telling me nothing. I'm like, dude, can we talk? You know what I'm saying? So we go to this place called Sherlock's. Every Monday night at Sherlock's, they used to have this open mic up there. I remember I walked in there. There were people who were trash. There were people who were good and everything. And I'm just sitting there. You arrogant. You like, I could do this. I'm better than that guy at least. Chris goes on stage. He does a great job. And he gets off. He says, so next week, you got to do this. Next week, write something. You getting on stage. I had no preparation at all. Like, I didn't know where to start. I'm like the whole week writing stuff down. I'm all over his house. Hey, yo, what you how do you get your material? I didn't know what to do. He had me. I used to steal his comedy DVDs because, like, first of all, he wasn't watching it, but I needed it. So I was watching all these DVDs. I was just pumping comedy in and out of my head because I knew nothing about stand-up comedy. So I developed something that I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna do my 4 minutes of time. It is what it is. So you put your name in this bucket, right? And they draw names, and that's the order of when you go. Luck had it. I'm at the end of the show. It's like 1 a.m. June 20th, 2011. Still, I never forget it. It's like 1 a.m. And I go up. It's only 2 people there, including the host. It was just the host and the bartender. Like. And I performed. Oh, it was the worst. It was the worst. Like, I remember because people always say that stuff about, like, yo, my first time on stage, I killed it. Not me, nigga. I was trash. I remember even my first 3 times on stage, it was horrible. Like, even one time when I had people there and they was paying attention, you doing trash when, like, it's not, nobody boos you. They just quiet. Like, this ain't poetry. This ain't music. You could be quiet when, they're doing poetry and music. But comedy, you being quiet, it is, whoo, you're trash. So I remember, like, the worst thing you could ever get, worse than a boo, is this. Like, when it's absolutely silent and somebody does this. I was like, oh, Jesus. I felt that one in my soul. It felt like all my confidence just dropped. Like, it just left my body. I was dead up there or whatever. I spent like my first 3 months just horrible. Just horrible. I didn't even get my first genuine laugh until like the 3rd or 4th month in comedy. If I would have been good that first time I went on stage, I wouldn't be doing this now. So it took failure to make me love it and never quit. You got to work at it. So yeah, that's how I got into comedy. Also blessed to have the right people around me at the time. Like at the time, my mentor, like, you gotta have a mentor in this thing or whatnot. And so my frat brother was my first mentor when I first came in. He was a perfect person I needed right there. Told me everything I needed to know, wrapped up in one statement, which was it's never the crowd's fault. It's always your fault. There's something you could have done to make everything better. When you hear that, you always try to do your best at all times, and you know that, like, you're humble enough to know that, hey, yo, I can improve as well. Every week we used to do a show at a local a bar or a lounge. It was normally a lounge we used to do shows at. We did one at Avani Lounge, and then it was Zanzibar. So this is like from the summer to December 31st. So he was grooming me the whole time. It was like, yo, we need to have a spot that we do every single week. So you know how it is to have longer minutes. So you know how it is to deal with any type of crowd, drunk, sleepy, lively, whatever it is. You need to be able to do this. I remember we used to host it every single week. Like, and we'll alternate. I'll be the first host, he'll be the second host show. I wasn't even ready, but you know, he threw me out there or whatever. That's just, he was basically teaching me, you'll never be ready for nothing. You'll never be ready for nothing. He finally leaves. So now I'm doing this by myself. And so it was perfect though, because even though I thought it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the right time, it was the right time. Texas State, they had like 750 people there. I was supposed to do like 10, 15 minutes or something like that. And I drove out there, no money, whatever. I was like, yo, I want to perform there. So I go up there, I perform. I was rocky at the beginning, but I started doing great towards the end. And like, there were people who enjoyed it. People came right, hey yo, we're bringing you to my school. So now people are hitting me up, hey yo, I seen you do this. Can you come here to my school and do that? I was like, all right. So now I'm doing a fashion show for Sam Houston. So I get booked to go to Sam Houston. I do that, and then next thing you know, somebody from Texas A&M hears about it. So now I get booked over there at Texas A&M, and it was just like that. I was like, oh, okay, so I really got to take this serious, because that was at the time where people started giving me money. I remember I got what I thought was my first big check. I don't know. It was like, I felt like, I was like, I don't even deserve this money. I don't think I'm at that level yet, you know. And I was afraid that I might not be worth the money that they're paying me. And I remember going on there nervous as heck. I performed at this, you know, a million times, but it was just that pay that they were giving me. They had no idea that, you know. So I was like, okay, I got to take this serious. So I went to the lab. I went to the rooms that were the rowdiest rooms, the rooms that people were afraid of. Oh, the bad rooms. I went to those rooms because I was like, if I can get here and make them laugh and get them to be attentive, no matter where I go, I'll be much stronger. I moved to New York. People heard that I left. You know, I'm 1 year in comedy. That is the dumbest thing you could do. But hey, yo, you never prepare. There's never going to be a right time. So I move out there, and every time I come back to visit or I get booked to do something in Texas, it's 101 people. Yo, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I don't know what it is. So going from being the guy who was at this open mic and getting dead silence to now being the guy who was like, yo, come through. We need you. Can you do this show? Can you host this for us? Okay, this person is doing. I literally went to an event one time just chilling. Host was drunk. And they said, Canice, yo, we finna give you his paycheck. You think you could come up here and do the event? I literally, like, it's like that. So you got to be prepared at any time. I had a mentor out there too. His name is Rip Michaels. He's on Wildin' Out right now. Wildin' Out, the comedy series and the tour thing or whatnot. That was my mentor. I was out there. He took me under his wing. As soon as we met each other in California for a competition, he ended up winning. And then while I was out in New York, we was both on the same gig. He said, hey, what you doing there? I'm like, what you doing there? I was like, I live here. He was like, I live here. He was like, well, come on, we're going to do some more shows. We did like 4 shows that same night. And then I thought it was over with. We getting to Harlem. He's dropping me off at the train station. He said, nah, we gotta go from here, catch this train to the piers. We finna get on this boat. I said, boat? We did a boat show. I was like, what? I didn't get back till like 5 a.m. I had work at 7:30 in the morning. He called me at 9. Hey, yo, Canice, what's good? How was last night? Man, it was perfect, man. I appreciate you giving me stage time and opportunity. Yeah, that's cool. But tonight we doing it again. So meet me in Harlem at 6 p.m. I literally met him at 6 p.m. and from 7 all the way back to 5 a.m. we did about like 6 shows. It was like that. It was like that for at least 6 days a week. We did about, on average, 3 to 4 shows a night, for a whole year. So definitely, and he put me around people. And one thing he taught me about was you have to always be ready. It don't matter what time, and there's never any excuse. Because this dude, we could do a bar at 1 a.m. A bar. Like, nobody cares. They smoking hookah. They ain't even worried about you. He'll go in there and wake that thing up. Most people be like, oh, it's a bad crowd. They don't want to listen to comedy. Something about him had everybody laughing. So it was never. He taught me there was no excuse to be consistent and always be ready. He'll do these shows called Fat Tuesdays with DJ Envy there, Angela Yee there. DJ Envy is the DJ. Angela Yee is sitting in the crowd. A few celebrities that we had Justin Timberlake there one time, and then he has like Ashley Larry on the show. In that same show, he had Hannibal Buress. The same show, he will have Rob Stapleton and this dude from Geico, Damian Lemon, and they're all on the same show. And you thinking, oh, okay, he's just gonna host it and then give it to them. Nah, he'll put me in between, like one of them, and I'm like, what? And so I had to always be ready. All right, let's do it. He definitely taught me that because like it was one time we was like, man, I don't feel like going up. I gotta go talk to this manager over here about such. Hey, Canice, I need you to host the rest of the show. I'm like, dude, Ashley Larry is on stage, like, and he's killing it. I'm like, I don't know if I could. And sure enough, I had to do that. Or he'll do some stuff like this. This is an old school thing. This is when I say old school, it's like the old fashioned way of somebody trying to make you better. And it's also like trust. When a comedian gives you the mic, introduces you, right, and they watch you on stage, and then they turn around and you see them going to the door. That means they trust you enough to stay on stage and entertain these people. He was literally doing that, and he even told me this. He would do that because it was like, you need to have more minutes, you need to be stronger, and you need to, what if something happens, You got to be able to hold this crowd and maintain them and consistently do this. So it's crazy because once I got back, every gig I was on, there was always something that happened where I had to go in and give them some time. It's still surprising when people call me, yo, we need you. Like not I need this, I need you for this. So yeah, it's always fun. My inspirations, I'm big on big things. Like one of my first mentors used to always tell me, don't worry about just this right now. Always worry about the bigger picture. You need to get out from where you are, go to where you can swing for the fences. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, go to LA, go to New York, go wherever you need to go to, swing for the fences, make it big. He used to always be on that, like, yo, it has to be big. It has to be big. And I had big dreams. I'm that kid that never gave up on their big dreams. So like my inspirations are like huge, celebrities. Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Like, I'm big on music and sports when it comes to inspiration. Like, I want to practice and train how they do. Like, if you go look at like my web browser, my YouTube browser, it's LeBron James training, Mike Tyson's training camp, Michael Jackson rehearsal. It's stuff like that motivates me. Like, yo, okay, I want to see how they did it. So what can I apply from what they're doing to how I train? A lot of these people who I look up to, especially at the beginning, they were all within the same realm as me. Like I was like, yo, how come all the people I look up to have all not finished college, dropped out or something like that? It was so crazy. I mean, all of them. I'm talking about Chris Rock. I'm talking about LeBron never went to college. Neither did Mark Zuckerberg. He didn't finish. And so Will Smith as well. And these are people who I look up to, people with positive minds as well, and people who are pushing the envelope. They're taking it further than what it is, and that's what I aspire to be. My biggest inspiration is definitely music. Like, I'm so inspired by music. I'm so inspired by music artists and how they take their art to the next level. They're so great with their art. Anything that actually bothers them, they take that and they make their artwork. And that's what I've applied, like, to my comedy. I'm like, yo, if something really bothers me, if it gets on my nerves, I'm gonna talk about it. With music, it's just so crazy. They have like a rhythm, so I try to make my comedy with the rhythm. Okay, this is a fast song, this is a slow song right here. This is how I want to do it. It's still a puzzle when you're making it. Only you're making the pieces too as well, but you're still trying to make a bigger picture for everybody to see and be like, oh, okay. And it has to sound great for people to be like, I can rock with this. Do you just want to make a hit, like a joke that's really funny, or do you want to make an anthem, like this is the one for the summer, this is the one that everybody remembers? Or do you want to make stadium music where you can, no matter where you go, it could be a room full of 20,000 people and this is the material that brings everybody together in joy. I know what they say about comedy and jokes. Once you heard it once, you heard it already. It's over. I understand that. That's cool. But I aim for those jokes. I aim for those jokes where when people hear it, they want to hear it again. They tell their friends, and then when they see you, they want to hear that joke again. That's what I aim for. Because some of the stuff I write, it actually sounds like it literally is opening chorus, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, like, breakdown. I literally do that at some parts. So yeah. Shit, that's the world we live in now. You ain't gotta wait for somebody to give you the right to do something. You could just do it. These days is what I've learned throughout these 5 years. Don't nobody care. Like, they don't care about that you aspire to be something. They don't care about, oh, you're good. Okay, you have to be the final product now. You have to already be ready for your opportunity before it knocks at the door. You got to be that person like, oh, you was coming in? Already? Yeah, come on, opportunity, get in. You have to already be ready for that. So if you want to be that guy, if you want to be that guy in your city or that guy within your industry or whatever it is, you got to start right now being that person and doing what they would do, waking up when they would wake up. You have to do it now. I'm saying, like, I'm just happy with executing. That's what makes, like, because in my head, I'm so confident that if I do what I'm supposed to do, it'll work itself out. So I need to execute. I need to take this and put it out there. A friend asked me to do a show during that weekend. I said, no, I'm not doing it. And I told my brother, see, you can't believe what these people asked me to do a show during that weekend. And then he was like, you should record it. And I was like, oh, I should record it and send this to Comedy Central and send this to HBO, Showtime, and send this to, Pandora, Netflix or whatnot. And he was like, you think you could get on all of them? I said, I don't know. It's not the point. It's just the point that I need to be able to have something that I could submit to them. Whether they decide to use it or not, that's not my business. I have no control over that. Though I'm a baby in my industry, I'm for real, a baby in my industry. Nobody should even be listening to me, looking at me, nothing. So that's really the point of this event that I'm doing, low key. I've experienced so much within my life, and I'm prepared to do a comedic hour. This ain't no oh yeah, we doing the party, Noops. Where we doing it at? Golden Palace? No, it's not like that. This is like, we're doing the gala. This is nice, dress up, come out. I want this to be perfect. This is supposed to be the best event I've ever done. I wanted it to be a specific way, and this is my opportunity. Just topped off the mothership. Mama told me leave them beats alone, but I told her I do this for my dog.